The Ocean's 11 reboot, officially titled Ocean's 8, has added some big names to its cast. Unfortunately, the film still falls short in the eyes of some in the industry. The problem with the Ocean's 11 reboot is precisely the fact that it is yet another reboot. This isn't a situation where there are people who are concerned about following in the much-hated footsteps of the Ghostbusters remake. Ghostbusters was hated almost from the start, largely because it was rebooting a much-loved franchise. There were also plenty of people who lodged their dislike precisely because the starring cast was entirely female. When it comes to Ocean's 11 and its reboot, it doesn't appear to be an all-female thing. At least it doesn't appear to be the sexists coming out of the woodwork to complain about so many women getting starring roles. This time around, the Ocean's 11 reboot, Ocean's 8, is drawing fire because it's a reboot. Online is one publication that is annoyed the new film is yet another reboot, where women have to step into roles previously played by men. That publication would like to see brand new material given to an all-woman starring cast, rather than having to have actors like Sandra Bullock and Anne Hathaway tread Ocean's 11 ground already plowed. That ground was being tread by some pretty great actors in their right, and that doesn't help. Ocean's 11 had Brad Pitt and Matt Damon as well as George Clooney. Bullock and the recently announced Anne Hathaway, as well as Cate Blanchett and Rihanna, certainly seem to be the female equivalent of those actors. That could spell success for Ocean's 8. Even if the Ocean's 11 reboot does manage to find success with those actors, there are people who are starting to wonder if these kinds of reboots are all Hollywood has to offer large female casts at this point. Online recently proclaimed the following. Just imagine what that would be like. Instead of just reusing old all-male material for today's female actors, think what the world could be like if writers and directors were making brand new movies for women. It would be a world full of bridesmaids. Or a world full of the heat. That is a world we'd like to live in. The website also pointed out it would be nice if films could be gender-blind again. Instead of projects like the Ocean's 11 reboot, which goes out of its way to cast all women, there are some who would like the films to cast certain people because they are just a good fit for the story. At the same time, there appears to be quite of excitement surrounding this film so far. The Ocean series has quite a few fans, despite the fact that it's more than 15 years old at this point. The longevity of Ocean's 11 has quite a bit to do with who starred in the film and the following films in the series. There's also something very fun about how the story unfolded and how the characters interacted with one another. If the director of Ocean's 8 can manage to bottle the energy of the series in this spin-off, or reboot or whatever it may be, there's a chance it will have quite a bit more success than the Ghostbusters reboot. There's something to be said for the fact this film is going to have some very well-known actors. Leslie Jones, Kristen Wiig, and the rest were well known to those who love Saturday Night Live, but few others. The Ocean's 11 reboot certainly won't have a name recognition problem.